everyone, welcome to Parent Alienation is Child Abuse Unfiltered. Thank you all for being here today and welcome to all the new subscribers. I thank you all and appreciate every single one of you. Thank you for joining me. Today I'm going to talk about something a little different on parent alienation. It's a form of alienation done by parents to children, but it's a bit different. Let's talk absent parents. These are parents that have their children but are absent in mind due to alcohol, drugs, or even technology. Let's have a discussion on how this affects the children involved. Let's talk about alcohol. When you're a child that's living with a parent who drinks constantly, who is basically an alcoholic, how do these children cope with life? Most of these children have to self-care and look after themselves because a lot of these times these parents wipe themselves out with their alcohol. Now, some of these parents can be lovely parents while they're drunk. Some of them get like really happy, chirpy and lovey-dovey with their kids, and then they can switch like that into a narky, cranky, nasty person. I've seen this happen quite a few times with various parents who have children that they have and they drink themselves stupid and then try to parent. Doesn't work. I've seen the look on these children's faces of the confusion that they have with their parent who is having a hard time standing up, talking, getting their words out, trying to hug their child but at the same time hurting their child, but oblivious to the fact. And the child has turned around and said, "Oh, you're hurting me," and then get in trouble for their, get yelled at for their troubles. I have seen this happen with more than one parent. They're drunk and oblivious to the fact of what they're doing. And while they might seem that they're all right in their heads, in their own mind, they're not. And these kids grow up with this. Now, I've known stories of children that are involved in this situation where their parents have constantly promised them that they'd stop drinking. Promised, and then obviously don't, and start drinking again. And when it's brought to their knowledge about their promise that they'd made this particular child or these children, they get yelled at and screamed at and called selfish, and that they're children and they have no say in what an adult does. And why this is so, yes, this is true. Children don't have a voice in what parents do. They just, like I've said in many videos before, are dragged along for the ride, basically. But this affects a child's upbringing. This affects the child's mental state. I can only imagine the confusion that goes on in these children's heads. This affects the children's self-esteem. They're even going to school. Like if you have a parent that drinks themselves stupid half the night, how are they supposed to get up and get the child ready for school? They can't. There's no sleeping patterns because the children work on the parents' time, and if the parents are partying into the night, then the children don't really have a set pattern to go to bed, to get up. They just go to bed whenever and get up whenever. And then when they start school, well, there's a challenge on its own because there's no routine in their lives. The only routine that they're sure of is that mum or dad's going to pick up a drink that day and probably wipe themselves out by the end of the day. And the children are going to sit there and be exposed to everything this parent does, which is alienating the child in a way because parent's absent. Parent doesn't take any notice of the children. Sat there many times and heard some kids like go, "Mum, Mum, Mum, can I, Mum, Mum," or "Dad, Dad, Dad." They're wanting a drink or wanting something to eat, but because the parents are oblivious to what's going on, they don't get answered. And because the children are consistent, because that's what kids are, they're consistent in what they want, they get yelled at. "Don't be so rude. I'm talking. Get yourself something to eat." It's blows my mind. Blows my mind. These parents don't realise how lucky they've got it. They don't realise Like there's many parents out there that don't have their children for narcissistic reasons, because of a narcissistic parent that won't let them have access to their child. Meanwhile, these parents have their children but are absent from their lives because they choose to drink. Let's go to the subject about drugs. Pretty much the same story as the alcohol. Mentally, they're not here. Mentally, these children are fighting for attention from their parent, constantly asking for something and being ignored, being yelled at because they've asked too many times. Instead of getting a response, they get yelled at. It's really sad. As I've said before in many cases, that these kids don't ask to be born. They don't ask to come into this world. You brought them in here. And it's your duty to raise a happy, healthy child, a well-adjusted child. Not a child that has to fight for attention from a bottle or a drug of some kind. That's robbing the child of a childhood. It's robbing the child of a parent. Parent's there, but absently, mentally, they're not. And that's not fair. It's not fair. Technology is much the same. I've sat there with people with their faces in their phones while children are trying to get their attention. Same thing. Mum, 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 can I have? Or Dad, 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 can I have? Again, get yelled at because they're in the middle of a game, or it's so important. These kids don't understand that. These kids are merely asking or wanting attention from their parent, who should want to give their child attention that they want, that they need. These kids grow fast. I always tell everybody, you blink, you'll miss it. These kids go from babies to teenagers to adults. It seems like in a long time, but it doesn't. It's like a blink. You blink and suddenly your baby is going to school, or you blink again. Oh my God, they're at high school this time. Oh my God, you blink again and they're leaving school. They're getting their licenses. Shit. Blink again, they're getting married and having their own kids. And where are you? Inside a bottle, taking drugs, or with your head in the phone. Kids grow up, life passes them by. Like I said, most times these kids have got to look after themselves. They have to get themselves something to eat. But a lot of these times, these kids also have to look after the parents. The child has to take care of the parent. Come on, Mum, you've got to go to bed. Mum, don't fall asleep down there. Dad, don't fall asleep on the floor. Dad, don't fall asleep on the lounge. Dad, come inside. Mum, come inside. Let's have a talk about some of the challenges these children face. If you're like a 5-year-old or a 4-year-old and you're hungry and your mother's passed out on the floor and you haven't been fed, kids will go to and help themselves to whatever they can get their hands on to eat. A lot of times this is just crap food, because a lot of these parents have lots of shit around the house, like chips and chocolates and, not nutritional things. So a lot of kids just get brought up on junk food because that's easy and convenient. Or getting a drink. Or trying to make noodles, hypothetically. Oh, I've seen Mum do that 100 times. I could probably make noodles in the microwave myself, says a 7-year-old. Not really understanding that when they go into the microwave and come back out, they're probably really, really hot and risk the chance of being scalded by her or his dinner that they've tried to make themselves because mother or father is passed out due to alcohol or drugs. Let's do another thing just on that subject of them being passed out. This is one for these parents that like to wipe themselves out on a regular basis in front of their children. I've had children call me upset because they can't wake their parent up. I can't wake Mummy up. She won't wake up. I keep trying. She won't wake up. Or I can't wake Daddy up. I'm trying to get something to eat. I can't wake Daddy up. He won't wake up. He won't move. Now, being on the other end of that phone, your mind's got to start thinking, okay, are they okay? Are they all right? Are they passed out because of the alcohol, or is something more bad going on? And these children are the ones that have to be there with this. That's just one of the things that these children have to comprehend. There was one child that I knew that lived in this world of junkies. That's what you could call them, because that's pretty much what they all were. And this poor child used to play with the neighbours, plays with the neighbours' kids, and was quite friendly with everybody because she was quite a nice little kid and everybody liked her. But she went to knock on this neighbour's door one day, and this neighbour was passed out. Wasn't really passed out at all. This person had passed away, and this child found her. Imagine the scarring that did on a child. A lot of people are oblivious to the fact that that's a huge emotional scar on that kid. Did she receive counselling or anything for this? No. No. They were told to. No. So people that recommend counselling for children to help them understand and cope with the realities of life, or the realities of their home life, to try to get them to function into the real world, don't want to send their kids to counselling or therapy. Why? Guilty conscience. That's what I believe. Because they know they've fucked up. They know they've done this to their child. And they don't want to be held accountable for that. They don't want their child going, oh, well, I burnt myself because Dad wouldn't wake up and I had to make my own noodles. Or I burnt myself because my mother passed out because she took some drugs the night before. These kids are innocent too. Like, these kids will tell you. They tell you, oh, Mum's in the bedroom with 4 guys and she's doing this. She's got this funny glass pipe. She's got smoke coming out of it. Oh, Dad's over there and I don't know, he's putting something in his arm. Like, they would get a pen and he's doing this. Like, kids see everything. Kids see every little thing you do. And just because they're small and you're drunk or blind, rotten, intoxicated with whatever you've put into your body, that you're oblivious to the fact. These kids are not. These kids see, they take it all in, and they're left with the emotional scars you've given them. You've robbed them of their childhood because they've had to worry about a toxic parent that's absent because they're drunk, high as a kite on whatever drugs they can get their hands on, or head in a phone or a tablet. Even on the phone, people can talk on the phone for hours and the kid can be still sitting here asking for stuff and get pushed away because I'm busy on the phone. Like, go away, come back. It blows my mind. Like, people just really don't understand the concept, I think, in my mind about having a child and what's involved in having a child. It's a 24/7 a day job. That's what raising a child is. It's not going, oh, I've got a baby, here, give me a drink. Yeah, I'll have another beer. Can you get me a vodka over there, please? Oh, yeah, can you get me some of that, whatever that drug that Sheila's got over there? I'll have some of that too. That's not being a parent. That's being an absent parent. A parent is hands-on. A parent wants to be part of their child's life, wants to be involved in everything that child's doing, and wants to give love and nurturing to that child. Not push it away because you're busy. Like, get a grip on yourself. Let's talk about some of the dangers that these drunk parents can expose their children to. Let's talk about the other idiots that are involved in these drinking sessions. Let's come to my house and have a drinking session. Yeah, my kid's all right. She'll just go in the room, or he'll go in the room. It's okay. Yeah, bring your kid over too. They'll just play in the room. We can just drink in the lounge room. Put some music on. Yep. And then you don't know who that person is or what they're like. You know what this person's like. Or you've got a drunk mother that brings home boys and goes to sleep with them in the bedroom while the kids are in the lounge room. Mum wakes up with a new boy every second day. Or mum will bring home someone who likes to beat the shit out of her. Kids are sitting there watching that. I think there's needs to be a lot of education in schools about parenting. I've said before about alienation and how to deal with a breakup, because that's just not in the curriculum on how to deal with emotional emotional breakup with somebody and the right way to cope with that, without being spiteful and nasty. And I think kindies and things like that need to be more aware of what some of these little kids go through. Like I said, a lot of these kids get branded as naughty kids because they lash out, because they're frustrated with their home life, because they got absent parents that aren't there. They go to school late, get in trouble for them being late. Why were you late? Oh, Dad drank so much last night, he couldn't get up this morning. Or Mum drank last night, she didn't come home until this morning, so I didn't get ready for school. That's not good enough for the education system. Some of these education systems should actually step in when kids come home or are absent late all the time and have a look at what's going on at home. Because of, and I know some of these parents go to school drunk. You can not miss an alcoholic parent or a parent who's been drinking because they stink like a brewery. What a way to pick your kid up. What a way to drop your kid off. These people drive. They drive. You know what's so funny? Well, it's not funny. It's pretty downright deceiving, really. One of them got put on one of these bands where you have to blow into a thing to make your car go, because they'd been caught so many times driving with their children in the car, intoxicated over the limit. So they had to blow into this special little thing that made their car go. I'm not sure how it was, but this is what the story was. They would get their child to blow into the bag or whatever this thing was to make the car go. And the kids would fight over who's going to do it next. Oh, no, he did it last time. I want to do it this time. No, you did it last time. And the mum's still getting behind the wheel driving. Or the father's still getting behind the wheel driving. Maybe we need photo recognition for that one. Yeah, because I'm sure there's a lot of other parents that do the same thing, get their kids to blow into the bag or whatever that thing is to make the car go. Because they don't learn their lessons, they just find ways around it. Meanwhile, the kids are put at risk of being in a car with a drunk person, or being left home with someone who's intoxicated that possibly could pass out when there's danger at the door. You know, it's just ridiculous. If you're going to be a parent, then be a parent. If not, you choose to be an alcoholic or whatever, then just do that. Give the child to the other parent who hopefully would be a lot better off with, because kids have a right to a happy future, have a right to have a good life. And if you've had to fight your childhood to just to survive, then your adult years could be quite challenging, because you've been let down by your parents, because they've chose alcohol, drugs, or technology over you. And that's how these kids feel. These kids feel they're not important. Mum won't stop drinking. She promised me 100 times she'd stop drinking. She sees how upset I get that she does this and how sometimes she hurts me. Or my dad promised me 100 times that he'd stop drinking. And he says sorry every time he hurts me accidentally when he's drunk, and he promised that he'll stop. But they don't stop. So in these children's minds that they're not important enough to care about, that they don't care if they hurt them, or they don't care about their feelings. And you would hope that these kids don't grow up and repeat that circle, because that's a pretty bad circle to repeat, to be an absent parent in your children's lives. And there's many parents out there that are probably wonderful parents that don't get that opportunity because of a spiteful person. 9 times out of 10, these spiteful persons are the ones with the bottle in their hand or the drug in the other hand. Yep, it's pretty sad for the kids. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there today. That one really annoyed me because it's happening too often, and holiday season's coming up, Christmas is coming up, and there'll be a lot of kids left on the sideline because their parents will be over that side of town partying while the kids are over here fending for themselves. Hopefully they have a wise adult looking out for them. But yeah, think twice before you pick up a bottle. Think twice before you have that next shot of whatever drug you're taking. Think twice before you have that tablet or your iPhone or your phone in your hand, and you have a child pulling on your leg wanting your attention. The phone's not going anywhere. The iPad's not going anywhere. That child's going to grow and remember that you ignored them, that your phone's more important, your bottle in your hand's more important, or the drug in your other hand's more important than your own flesh and blood. get a grip on reality, give that kid a hug, tell them you're sorry for fucking up that part of their life and you're not going to do it again, and keep that promise. You only get one shot at bringing these kids up. You don't get to do a rerun. Anyway, I'll leave it there for today. Thank you all again for being here. Sorry I get a little bit cranky with that sort of stuff, but these kids need a voice and they've got me, and this sort of stuff gets under my skin. Anyway, just before I go, if you haven't liked and subscribed, I'd welcome you to do so. Let's keep this growing. Let's get this talking. Let's get people making conversation about parent alienation and the trauma that these children face. Like, share and subscribe. I'd welcome you to do so. Let's just get the word out there. These kids need more voices than just mine. All right, guys. I'll catch you on my next one. Bye.